Hello, survivors. Welcome to the new world. If you want a cubby hole, here's the right place. Here, in the garage, you can learn a lot about the wastes, straight from the devs. And also don't forget that we can now have the Crossout show here. The best designers and drivers can compete for prizes. Get in, watch, take part. It goes without saying, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you see. Our guys appreciate this very much. It's go time. Talking about dies. Survivors, there are so many of us already. The community is growing, and with every day we have more and more fighters joining. This is so great. We can achieve more together. Why don't we celebrate? Let's continue growing and prospering. When we've got 75,000 subscribers on this channel, the garage owners will give a unique die to everyone entering the game. Yeah, you heard that right. Any survivor will get it just by launching Crossout. The time of the giveaway will be limited, but the die is exclusive. If you're still doubting for some reason, subscribe and get your friends to do the same. Soon as we hit 75,000 subscribers, we will tell you in detail how to get the trophy. While survivors are experimenting with craft after the update of the game balance, the drafts are constantly changing and getting better. This is why this week we only have one test drive unit. However, it's very impressive, both in terms of the looks and massive insides. As for the patch itself, we've heard your questions, and there's a special edition of Q&A waiting for you further in the episode. Scorpion T0820. As soon as it appeared at the exhibition, Scorpion immediately gained enough downloads and likes to get the first place. This is the Leviathan among usual crafts. Power parameters will get it against heavy and well-armed enemies. The craft is huge, equipped with everything you might need, meant for experienced players and obviously created to win every fight. The golden die is basically screaming at you, "What's up, people? I'm one of the tops!" The tank is based on Quantum Cabin. Under the cover, pretty much all the possible improvements. There's an Apollo generator, radar detection device, a neutrino scope, Chameleon Mark II, and increased ammo. Cheetah engine reloads weaponry and modules for the covered distance, while it also provides decent speed for 11 tons of metal. Moving parts are both wheels and caterpillars. There are two scorpions, which gave the craft its name. Hatchets at the front, we believe, are supposed to cover the wheels from close-range damage. When you get behind a scorpion wheel, you immediately realize the scale of the work done. The craft balancing took hours in the garage. Both moving and drivability are amazing. The craft is surprisingly fast for its size, while swivel wheels of the mechanics, despite the acceptable cabin power fine, are doing beautifully with maneuverability. The structure points allow for combat initiative. You can both fight from afar and withstand sufficient damage in the middle of the battle. It's better to fire not haphazardly, but right at the wheels or weaponry junctions. Then they come off spectacularly, literally after one shot. There should be no problem with aiming either. As with any expensive car, only an experienced rider should get behind the wheel of a Scorpion. However, we've seen so little of such functional crafts in this category, apart from the classics analyzed in the first episode of The Garage, which is why a top score and genuine recommendation to get a closer look at this one are needed. Okay, open your garage. Let's look at your craft. Where is it? This one? Good. What are you looking at? Don't you see what the problem is? Seriously? Come on, it's died dreadfully. Survivors often paint their crafts with anything they can get their hands on. What? It's the apocalypse, not a bridal show, but that's a big mistake. The looks of the craft may say a lot about the owner, including battle record, participating in milestone events, and completing unique missions. In the end, it's just the explainable and understandable care of the looks of your craft. You spend hours behind its wheel. Today, in the weaponry section, we analyze all the game dies, while also recommending a couple of winning combinations. This special episode of the weaponry was inspired by the guide of Steam user Shram. We've studied, reworked, and updated it. A big thanks to all of our fans for commitment. Dies are sorted by rareness, as are other parts. Some of them are mixable. This means you can get a next-level die out of several spray cans of one category with additional resource payment. Most dies can be bought on the market or obtained on your own, but some are already unavailable and may be found only in the boxes. Let's start with plain colors. This category includes the following: heavy clouds, haze, cherry, khaki 1, khaki 2, khaki 3, iguana, wasteland, twilight, polar lights, amulet, clear sky, magnetic field, and leech and ashes. Unmixable colors of the same category are given for certain reputation achievements in Mechanics faction. Solvent, 0 level. Isotope 239, 2nd level. Tornado, 7th level. Bromine, 8th level. Sandstorm, 15th level. And Oasis, 21st. To mix basic rare dyes, you need 10 spray cans, 5 coins, 450 scraps, and 50 copper sheets. Rare mixable dyes are the following: white, electron, last dusk, ocean, coral, patterns fine, and larch, red giant, victory, emerald, bumblebee, and midnight. It's a bit more complex with unmixable dyes. Easy Target and Jacklighter were given during Halloween. Players could get Blackboard and Calendar in exchange for resources and fragments for visiting the game every day during a limited period of time. Those survivors ready to mix rare colors should get 10 corresponding dyes, 20 coins, 250 scraps, 750 wires, and 150 copper sheets. Epic dyes are not very common. Those include patterns, forest, danger, sea, checkers, urban, rust, dune, and also material, grid. Epic unmixable dyes were given by results of achievements. Pattern, Crash Tester was given to those participating in alpha testing. Players of combat testing were given pattern, tribal, and material, snake, was open in the inventory of closed beta testing veterans. Material, alligator, was given for resources and fragments. Collected during melees won for a certain time. One could get patterns, graffiti dusk, and underdog, along with metal fatigue in the similar way. Harvest was given away during Halloween. Pattern, graffiti dawn, was a special set from a game exhibition. To celebrate launching, US servers were given away Lone Ranger stars and stripes. There are only 2 mixable legendary dyes, gold and chrome. Unmixable dye of the similar rareness called Death Mask was given during Halloween. Survivors can get the following dyes from the sets: materials, carbon, aluminum, quartz, burnt land, digital, desert, will-o'-the-wisp, lava, lightning, flame, as well as colors white sun, red moon, dark red, and mirage metallic. During the Nechts event, riders could obtain such dyes as materials Mitten, Teutonic Cross, Teutonic Eagle, and Teutonic Ribbon. Finally, To celebrate launching Australian servers, we've given away patterns, Edge of the World and Aboriginal. This means there are now several dozens of kinds of dyes for your craft in the wastes. If your craft is not yet dyed, what's wrong with you? And one more thing, here are some ideas for happy blends. White Sun and Red Moon are actually brand colors of Dawn children and can be seen mostly on their crafts. Additionally, light colors are a perfect blend with carbon and metallic colors. Camo lovers should pay attention to Mirage Metallic, Digital Desert, and Khaki. Due to similar patterns, not a bad blend are Will-o'-the-Wisp, Lightning, and Flame. They will be looking good even on the wheels. Lone Ranger Stars and Stripes together make it a bit tacky, but very memorable American flag coloring. At the same time, survivors really love to dye tanks and leviathans with Teutonic colors. The new patch release quite expectedly caused stormy reaction from survivors. We've looked through all of your forum posts and comments on the videos. Some of them were positive, others constructive. We've highlighted major questions which bother you the most, so here are detailed answers in the special edition of this section. Heavy cabins now look useless. Why would you decrease their parameters? Among high-power rides, there were lots of crafts, built pretty much in the same manner. This update should draw together all types of cabins of the same rarity on the battlefield. It's not ultimate, and we'll continue our work on aligning the efficiency of different types of parts. Which craft are now more suitable for Humpback, Trucker, and Jawbreaker? We believe a loss of one energy point won't provide critical impact on potential firepower. Any craft can and should be improved with additional modules. A gas generator and Apollo, perfect in this case, will help survivors realize their ideas, including the ones on weaponry. Drone nerf is insufficient. That's why drone-abusing players aren't going anywhere. After the patch, Sidekick has become way more modest in terms of damage and shooting distance parameters, while also significantly losing in operational range. Its initial purpose was a defense drone capable of leaving the owner for a short distance, but not as heavily attached to it as Falcon or Owl. There are no plans to fully remove this type of weaponry from the game. However, the number of drone herders should be significantly decreased. We're watching the stat. Why have you set a limit on scraps in Melees? Melees is a unique mode with unusual gameplay, different from PvE and PvP. Reward sizes, which you can get in Melees and missions, are now pretty much equal, which seems just. We would like the gamers to appreciate not only reward, but also the game process. Moreover, a special reward for participation is still here. Plus 10 kilogram on hover change, nothing. This is a complex change which should be seen in the context of updated cabin tonnage and critical mass parameters. In addition, the parameters have been changed for all movement modules, not only in hovers. All moving parts are seen as a single package. As for the necessity of this particular change, the stats were all for that. The map has only an interface value so far. What's next? Introduction of the global map is an important step for developing the Crossout universe. Players can now actually see the connection among battlefields, not only territorial, but also a narrative one. We'll improve the interface in the foreseeable future. We shall see what we shall see. It looks now that the future of Crossout is in powerful but fragile crafts against weak but heavy. Am I right? The changes were necessary for improving the craft monotony situation. We understand that after such fundamental updates, some time should pass before survivors would fully appreciate those. In the future, the fights should become more engrossing, because the crafts of completely different types will more often meet uncomfortable enemies. We want to remind you that we're open for feedback. And this patch, of course, is far from being the last one. It's easy to forget, but we ain't even out of beta. Stay sure the situation is thoroughly analyzed, and necessary adjustments will be introduced in the upcoming updates. Well, that's it for today, survivors. Looking forward to seeing you in a week to spill some more facts about the Wastes battles. Don't waste your time. Gain experience and toughen up in fights. Also, subscribe. And do me a favor, will you? Tell your friends about this show. Leave comments below. It's important for us to know your opinion. Be seeing ya.